Hello, I'm Soycat, and I absolutely love flags, which is why the flag of Haiti really annoys me. This is their official flag. It looks like a fake. It looks like they accidentally used the non-transparent JPEG instead of a PNG, but as you can see, they made one of the most obvious flag mistakes, and they've just stuck with it ever since. It's such an easy thing to fix. In fact, it's so easy, the Vexillology subreddit has done precisely that, and doesn't it look so much better, so much more professional as a country when you have this versus having this? I think it does, and that is why I absolutely love Vexillology as a subject of discussion, and it also, by talking about flags, which seem like objective pieces of art, dives you into the conversation about how flags are just as flawed as we as humans are. I mean, indeed, if you were to talk about the only country which doesn't have red, white, or blue in its flag, you'd probably bring up Jamaica very early on. It's got a very fun, quirky flag that does not use red, white, or blue in there anywhere, and so the reason the Jamaican flag is interesting is because people think it's the only country flag without red, white, and blue, but they'd actually be incorrect. You might not know this, but there's one other country on Earth, which allows me to bring up my Sri Lankan grandmother and my Sri Lankan heritage, to mention that actually the second country which doesn't is Sri Lanka. This is their flag, and as you can see, it's the second country with no red, white, and blue. Except I know immediately the actual thing that comes out of this is, no, Toycat, I think you missed the red in this flag. Can you see it? Your head is literally in front of it. And here's the fun thing about this. The flag of Sri Lanka might seem like it has red, white, or blue in, but according to the Wikipedia page, it's actually a maroon background with 4 gold bow leaves on it. Also, pretty fun that it's got the lion with the sword on there, right? He's gonna shank you up hard. But it's got a maroon color on there, and maroon is not red. Although if you look into maroon, you'll find out it's a brownish crimson, and if you look into crimson, it's a rich, deep red color that inclines towards purple. Is a crimsony maroon on the Sri Lankan flag technically a part of red, white, and blue? I love the debate and discussion around that. It's why flags are such a spicy form of discussion. But it's also really interesting to talk about pink in flags because there's only 2 countries of pink in them, and they're much more interesting examples. Because again, most countries use red. Most red is like the blood of the people who fought for the country. It's a very common thing. White and blue are also very common flag colors, as you'll know, looking at your country's flag, unless you're Jamaican or Sri Lankan. But it's also really interesting to dive into the only pink countries, which are, as you can see, Spain, and interestingly enough, Mexico, but not in a directly linked way. Also, I have to say this, the lion in the Spanish flag, I mean, it's no Sri Lankan lion, is it? I mean, this lion has his own issues going on. He definitely looks like he looks like he's from it doesn't look the great, but this definitely is a lion that is trying to stand up, but is a little bit slow in the anyway, whatever. Also, the lion is king. There's a lot of questions I have about the Spanish flag, but then you can see there's some tiny pink in the Mexican flag. By the way, the Mexican flag breaches one of the 5 rules of flag design. I think it's pretty simple. Just keep it simple. It should be so simple a child can draw it from memory. I can't draw the Mexican flag, and I'm not even a child, as best I know. Anyway, so yeah, the Vexillology subreddit is something that I love to keep up with because there's so many dumb, spicy takes like this. But even just, going into the, about whether this is red or whether it's not. But even if you talk about this a little bit more and you say this is distinctly red or it's not red, you have to kind of draw the line on what is and isn't red. And indeed, when you say red, white, and blues in every country's flag, you're talking about a different red, white, and blue depending on the country. The UK's Union Jack is this red, white, and blue, which is a very distinctly different red, white, and blue to Iceland's, for example, and Luxembourg would see red, white, and blue like this, even though these are very different, shades of each of those colors. In fact, one of my favorite maps is this one, or one of my favorite things I've seen is this one, where the Luxembourg red, white, and blue has been taken onto each of those other flags, and everything looks a little bit washed out, right? Like Luxembourg looks fine when all the other flags use the same colors, but it all looks very strange. It looks high contrast. This is Maps for the Blind, the sequel to my popular podcast Geography for the Blind. It is, if you can't quite see colors, everything looks very much like it's staring at you, and I have no idea what's wrong with the Luxembourgish flag, but this is one of the few issues, definitely not one of the many issues, that Luxembourg has as a nation state. I'm just saying, Luxembourg, I'm coming for you next. First thing I'm doing when I'm in charge of the world is getting rid of you. However, again, one of my favorite things is to dive into spicy takes about this. And so this is one of, if you want to see a fun map, here is a map that Greenbean9148 made for his fictional US state of Toronto. As you can see, I love it. How can you not see this flag and immediately go, yes, okay, this is a fun place. It's it's a place for learning about flags, but it's really all about spicy takes of flags. I mean, here's another one that's fun, flags of the United States. As you can see, United States of lots of places. It's fun when you look at this. Like, I feel like everyone spots, like, yeah, did you know Mexico is called the United States of Mexico? Like, Estados Unidos Mexicano, I don't know what it actually is. But you can see that, like, okay, we've got the United States of Indonesia, we've got Brazil, we've got Colombia, but the questions that my brain comes to is, what is this? It looks like a cross between the Belgian flag and the German Empire, and what is this? Is this British-owned Greece or something? And so I looked into it. It's the United Belgian States, a short-lived confederal republic, where you can probably see why this failed without even having to look into any more of it. But the other interesting thing to me is the United, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the United Ionian Islands, which is apparently a short-lived state between 1815 and 1864. It was an amicable protectorate of the United Kingdom, and so yes, the United Kingdom owned these islands in Greece, which is really wild now, right? Like, what the heck is going on there? But even wilder than the fact that they owned them is the fact that they were just gifted, like, how would we get rid of them? They were just ceded by the British to the newly enthroned King George I. We just gave away a huge bit of territory in Greece. I'm a little bit shocked by that. I mean, famously, I feel like the Mediterranean is full of British examples of not giving up until too late. This part of Cyprus is still the UK today. You know, what country is this? I think you'll find it's it doesn't actually say on Google Maps. But this is the United Kingdom, is my point. There's a Hamlet pub. What more proof? Look at these guys. Okay, this is all the proof you need. This is the UK, right? Alongside all of the south of Spain. Anyway, with that said, that's ridiculous. Anyway, speaking of ridiculous things, maps are fun, right? I mean, maps are fun. Flags are fun. Wow, is this a geography channel or something? Sometimes it is when I'm not reviewing kebabs. But yeah, so you might think that you're a real fan of flags too, by the way. But let me assure you, no matter how much you think you're a big fan of flags, you think you're the flaggiest flagger there ever was, you're not a true flag stan, because these are the flag stands. Sorry, these are the stand flags, I should say. Okay, this whole video is worth it for this one joke to me. Also, this is meant to be the flags of all the stands. So you got like the Dagestans and the Tartarstans and all the Kazakhstan and stuff like that in there. But then also there's just Turkey chilling over there. So maybe this is just Turkic people and they happen to have stands. Also Crimea, I assume, the Tatarstan, whatever. Also, what's the flag of this over here? Also, what is with the map being so skewed? I know the world is curved and everything, but it's weird to see Russia actually inclining like this. Anyway, speaking of things that it's weird to see, this is one of my favorite subreddits to browse. And, here's the European Organic Certified Product logo. It's not actually a flag, but they say it kind of looks like the European flag in an alternate timeline where ecology becomes the dominant doctrine. And does it not? Does this not look like an eco-fascist Europe? Like, maybe you could argue that's the flag for current Europe. Anyway, we've got the remade flag of Zambia. I feel like remake is not the correct remade? That would what it would be, yeah. Remade flag of Zambia. I like it. Gold eagle in the middle. We've got, my friend showed me the Norwegian Sami flag. I love people with good flag design because again, strangers on the internet make better flags than real flags that exist. I mean, not only, okay, Haiti has a pretty low tier flag in my mind. I think the only one that's like objectively more MS Paint designed, but at least they try it, as the Maldives. Every time I look at this, I'm like, man, I think I could draw that flag in Microsoft Paint. I really do believe that. Like, if I'm right here, ignore what I was up to earlier. This is unrelated stuff. But if I'm in Microsoft Paint, we'll just slide that to the left, and now you can't even see it anymore. If I'm making a flag, I'm like, yeah. So what is my country based around? I really like kebabs, right? So we got a big K for kebab. And then what do? We put like a big red border around that. And then we put like a green border around, okay, it's green. And then we'll have a red border around that. And I think I just made an equivalent flag to the Maldives, right? Obviously, their religion is the opposite of kebabs. Wait, is it the opposite of kebabs? What is the opposite of kebabs? I'd say Islam, and you know what, maybe that's offensive, actually. Some people use them to mean the same thing, so they can't be opposites. Anyway, so there's some pretty bad flags in the world. Wait, do you want to see some bad flags? If we don't mention this, we're not doing our job. So the counties of Liberia, it's a fun place. So Liberia is split up into 15 different counties, and let me show you their flags. So first of all, this flag is like, okay, it's fine. It's like it's pretty standard. But if you start looking at the flags for the individual districts, this is Bomi County's flag. This is, okay, let's find the absolute best one, right? Lofa, this is the flag they have. It is an arm and a post, and you can really see that if these weren't drawn in paint, then I would be shocked. They've only got a population of 250,000 people too. Whereas some countries with a lower population, like I absolutely like, it's not a fair comparison because of time. I don't mind Liechtenstein's flag. I think this is better than Haiti. I think some people call it Haiti, by the way, but some people, believe that it's, some people believe that kebabs aren't the one superior food to rule us all, and some people believe that Luxembourgish people can be really considered to be people. So let's not like trust their opinions too soon. Anyway, yeah, if you it's one of my favorite places just to dive into because like look at this flag right here is just. It destroys all 5 of the rules of flag design. I had to then check it up. So rule number 1, keep it simple. Did this flag keep it simple? The answer, not really. It's no. A child probably couldn't draw this one from memory. Okay, rule number 2. Use meaningful symbolism. The images, colors, or patterns should relate to what it symbolizes. And it's like, what are we symbolizing? I can't tell. But I'll give it a pass on that, so it doesn't break all the rules. Use 2 or 3 basic colors. As you can see, we go back to it. There is color 1, color 2, color 3, color 4, color 5. Okay, we've gone past that. Okay, that's not good. No lettering or seals. I think, actually, they've got evangelist written in the Bible there. Okay, so it breaks that one. And be distinctive, be related. The funny thing is, this uses meaningful symbolism, and it is very, very distinctive, right? There is no way you'll see this flag and get it confused of like the flag of Sri Lanka afterwards. Wait, is this the flag of Sri Lanka? It looks kind of similar, right? Oh wait, you can tell because the lion looks more horrific and humanoid in this one than it does in the true flag of Sri Lanka. Anyway, yeah, the world is filled with interesting flags, and I feel like one of the interesting things about it is how a flag will tell you so much about a country, or it'll tell you about how little they paid for their graphic design. Liechtenstein, successful country, high budget for their flag. Haiti, unsuccessful country. Let's go back. Unsuccessful country, low flag budget. They've got a really nice coat of arms. It's got some French on that. Actually, is it that nice? But they've got a coat of arms. They just don't know how to, look, this is the real P and, you can see this. It's transparent. You can move it around. They just need someone someone needs to go on the Wikipedia page and make this, but with this. Actually, wait, let's do it right now. So, let's just, let's wipe this all clear. Okay, it's all gonna be gone. Let me show you how to make a beautiful flag. So we have a big line across the bottom here. Okay, nice. Then we're gonna go red at the top, blue at the bottom. Did I get that correct? I feel like it might be the other way around. Is it red top, blue bottom? No, it's the other way around. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill that blue and then fill this red. And then all you gotta do, again, I'm literally using paint right here, is I don't think paint supports transparency. Yeah, let's just move it in there. Does not work. Okay, well, you know what? You're right, this is too hard. As the graphics design department for an entire country, the people responsible for feeling like an entire nation can feel like there's something that symbolizes them. The entire nation can feel something connects them. I just don't have the resource. I can't do it. I'm trying real hard here. I'm moving it, but it's just not going over there. So I guess I'll just put the lazy one in there later, shall I? Again, shocking to me. This is so clearly a mistake, and the country acts like it's real. And so I'm just saying, wait, one of my fun pages in here, right? Is okay, it's in here somewhere. We got Haiti. Okay, no, we got the list of coups in Haiti. It's a very long list, is all I'm saying. And maybe if they had a better flag, maybe they'd do a bit better as a country. I'm just saying, look at countries doing real well for themselves. They've got distinctive flags. Who's on the up and up these days? I think Saudi Arabia is doing pretty good. Nice flag. Qatar, pretty cool flag, right? You look around the world, quality of a flag definitely correlates with quality of a country, and vice versa. The Maldives, I don't wanna kick them while they're down, but they might be like, oh no, we're going underwater. And it's like, maybe we'd put more effort into saving the world, into being eco-fascists, if we felt like the countries that would go underwater had decent flags. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If I keep this video going, I'm just gonna make fun of more places, I think. But yeah, this is what we could do, but we don't care enough about you because you've got bad flags. If you want us to care about your cause, make some good graphics design. Anyway, is that a good way to end a video? I think so. Second channel, I don't care, but if you want to give me money to buy a kebab, I like when this line goes up. If you go to patreon.com/toycat, then that line will go up, and I'd really appreciate it if you did that. But if you didn't, you know what I'd really appreciate as well? You literally going away and having a slightly better day. Or just don't even do that. Just leave. It's YouTube. You're going to watch other videos, and I'll see you in one of those.